Today I'd like to show you an Afro-Cuban rhythm called the cha-cha-cha. Now the cha-cha-cha is a 4-beat rhythm, which means unlike some other Afro-Cuban styles where we read 2 beats to the bar, the cha-cha-cha is strictly 4 beats to the bar sort of groove. It's a very strong sort of dance groove. It has a very specific dance that goes with it, but it's not that important to learn the dance moves just yet. We'll focus on the rhythms first. You would have heard that it makes use of a high-pitched cowbell as opposed to my low-pitched cowbell. I was copying on the drum kit a conga part between my snare drum cross stick and high tom-tom, and also had a bass drum tumbao in there with it. So bass drum tumbao is basically just means the bass drum rhythm that's commonly used in Afro-Cuban music, and you can go see my lesson on how to develop your basic bass drum tumbaos. But this cha-cha-cha rhythm, this basic cha-cha-cha, is going to be quite simple. There's a lot of different variations, but we're just going to look at the basic cha-cha-cha and maybe just a few ways to make it interesting. So let's get into it. The first thing is cowbell. Very simple. The cowbell simply plays 4 beats to the bar. On the 1, on the 2, the 3, and the 4. Okay, let's look at the left hand part now. Again, I'm emulating a conga drummer in the left hand. I'm taking the conga drummer's slap tone, which is a short percussive accent, and I'm interpreting that with the cross stick on the snare drum. Okay, the next tone we're copying from the congas is the open tone, in which a conga player, similar to the slap, except he would rebound his fingers off the drum and allow it to resonate. So with that one, I picked the high tone because it's the closest sound to that open tone from the conga. So where do they fall? Well, the slap falls on the 2, and those 2 open tones fall on the 4 and the 4 and. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and. Okay, let's put the left hand part, or the conga part, together with the cowbell part. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, let's move on to the bass drum part. Now for my version of the cha-cha-cha, I like to play what I call a light bass drum tumbao. So not the full bass drum tumbao in my bass drum tumbao lesson, but the second exercise, which is a light version. Basically, we're just playing on the 1 and 2 and of every bar, as opposed to the full tumbao, which we also play on the 4. But it's just the and of 2 in this particular groove. So let's play cowbell and bass drum, again with that light bass drum tumbao only. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so of course you do have the option of playing the full bass drum tumbao, which would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so again, I prefer the lighter bass drum tumbao, but it's always good to practice both. So let's look at the hi-hat part. I play a few different pedal hi-hat parts with the cha-cha-cha. Probably the standard, easiest one to get a hold of at first is to simply play on every beat. So on the 1, 2, 3 and 4, basically copying the cowbell part exactly. So let's play the cowbell, pedal hi-hat and bass drum parts together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, let's try taking away the bass drum now. We'll keep in the pedal, hi-hat and cowbell parts and add the left-hand part, or the conga voice. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And all together now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, now if you don't own a cowbell, you can also play the cowbell rhythm of the cha-cha-cha on the ride cymbal bell. So let's give that a try. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, let's just do one more variation to the cha-cha-cha, and that is to take away the conga part, or the left-hand part. Because sometimes if two people are playing the same part, there might be some clashes, or there might be not quite enough space and groove in the music. So what we'll do, instead of playing that left-hand conga voice, is take that left hand and play the clave. Now I'm going to play the clave on a jam block, because it gives a nice authentic sort of clave sound. But you can also just play the clave as a acrostic part. So using that same technique, you might want to experiment with having your snares on or snares off. I actually like the sound of the snares on for the acrostic sound, but I'll take those snares off for now, because again I'm going to play on the jam block. So it's the full cha-cha-cha pattern. I will play on the cowbell, but again, instead of that left-hand conga voice, just the 2-3 son clave on the jam block. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And up to tempo now. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this lesson on the cha-cha-cha. Practice hard and I'll see you in the next lesson.